Donald Trump says China and India migrants has to go. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear in this demonstration is all allegedly. So, Donald Trump, Donald Trump is not backing down on his plans to deport these migrants, these illegal immigrants. And I know a lot of people are worried. I know a lot of immigrants, migrants, I know that they are worried, and they should, and they do have reasons to be worried. But Donald Trump, he's not playing. He's not playing. So let's just go see what they're talking about. And there are other countries that are on the list as well, but China is definitely on the list, and India is definitely on the list. So let's hear what they got to say. Salute to Full Life. I see you down there. Appreciate you for pulling up, Full Life. Salute.
We begin in the United States, where President-elect Donald Trump has continued to promise to crack down against illegal immigration on day one of taking office. With Inauguration Day just about a month away, Donald Trump's rhetoric about deporting over 1 million migrants is increasing. This comes after the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, released data of the number of illegal migrants who are reportedly being marked for deportation. According to the ICE document, 1.5 million migrants have been identified for deportation, with the highest number of undocumented residents being from Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, and El Salvador. The list also includes thousands of migrants from Asia, particularly China and India.
So these are the numbers, y'all. Here's the numbers. The U.S. makes a deportation list. Here's the numbers. For those that are here by way of China, 37,908. For those that are here by way of India, 17,940.
Now, the United States has about 7 million undocumented migrants living in the country, with the most being from Mexico, followed by El Salvador.
And here's the list. Here we go. And these are undocumented immigrants. Mexico has 4 million. There's 4 million Mexicans in the country. That's undocumented. You got a 750,000 from El Salvador. And from India, you have 725,000 undocumented immigrants.
India, Guatemala, and Honduras. Washington has already begun deporting some of the illegal immigrants, particularly those who have a criminal record or ties to drug cartels.
So starting out, Washington has already started the process of deporting, getting rid of those with criminal records and ties to these cartels. Salute, Ms. Parker. Salute, Ms. Parker.
The first thing I thought was, I'm not going to sleep on the floor anymore. I'm not going to be cold anymore. I'm not going to be hungry anymore, and neither are my children. When it sank in that I was landing, that I was in Honduras. When I arrived, I went to my mother's house in Euro, and when I arrived, I sat down and took a deep breath and said I was in Honduras. I could not get off the ground. It was very suffocating for me.
Meanwhile, in an interview with Time magazine last week.
So she's worried. She's worried. She's like, and she had, like I said, for the immigrants, for the migrants, they have every right to be worried when it comes to this, because many of them come from, some jacked up conditions. So many of them have a right to be worried.
Donald Trump said that he would also cut business ties with nations refusing to take back migrants that are going to be deported from the United States.
I'll get them into every country, or we won't do business with those countries. I want them out, and the countries have got to take them back. If they don't take them back, we won't do business with those countries, and we will impose substantial tariffs on them.
So Trump is saying, I'll get them into every country, or we won't do business with those countries. I want them out, and the countries have got to take them back. If they don't take them back, we won't do business with those countries, and we will impose substantial tariffs on them. I believe that Trump is right on the money with this. Salute, Snoopy. Salute, Snoopy. Appreciate you for pulling up. I believe Trump is right on the money with this.
Now, the United States has already designated at least 15 nations as uncooperative in the deportation process, with some of the major countries being India, Russia, China, Ukraine, and Cuba, with Donald Trump threatening to impose sanctions on these countries for refusing to take back migrants. Washington could be staring at a global trade war and strained diplomatic tensions. Time and again, prominent economic and business experts have warned that the tariffs would increase the cost of living for average Americans and even impact the U.S. stock market.
Well, see, and like I said, here's the thing. We have to get out of the comfortable lifestyle that we've been living in. And believe it or not, even with the little that we do have, we still is not in a comfortable lifestyle, really, when you think about it. Because no matter what, we always face with issues, racial issues, social issues.
Reacts to tariffs, whether or not, they have an impact that could slow growth or create a stickier inflationary environment will be dependent on what's actually implemented. And I'm sure the administration will be very thoughtful about how it proceeds. It's the same thing with immigration policy and deportations.
Now, if Donald Trump goes ahead with his plans of deportations and tariffs, American taxpayers will not just be paying for the high logistical cost of the mass deportations, but even for daily use products, as India and China remain among the 10 trading partners for the United States, particularly for mobile phones, pharmaceutical goods, and other products.
And I know many of y'all are worried and many of y'all are concerned about this. But Shank, it's going to be bad business for us. It's already bad business for us. Don't y'all think for 1 second. Don't y'all think, and this is what Trump is saying, that it's time to put an end to. It's bad business for us regardless of what. Salute, Caramel. Salute, Caramel. Appreciate you for pulling up. It's bad business for us anyway. China owns us. Well, why do you think China owns us? India is starting to own us also. The number of people from India, from Pakistan, but those numbers steadily increase. So we got to understand. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. We got to understand when it comes to dealing with China. We got to understand when it comes to dealing with India. It's a certain way that we have to deal with them in order for them to respect us. It's all about respect. Salute, Blended Healing. Salute, Blended Hill. Appreciate you for pulling up. Caramel says, yes, Indians from India has taken over. RTP, Mooresville, North Carolina. And I know what you mean. I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina all the time, Caramel. I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina all the time. And the cold thing about it is they look down on us. If y'all didn't know, Indians are the most. They're the most. You think white folks is racist towards black people. Indians are the most racist towards black people. So what are we worried for if they get deported?
Already owns. Have Harris County toll roads become a monster piggy bank for politicians and the patronage that helps keep them in office. Down at City Hall, millions green-lighted to upgrade an already top-shelf municipal park. But with so many others crumbling and ragged, is the investment truly justified? And in the nation's capital, major plans brewing for mass deportation. Will Donald Trump deploy America's military to help expel millions of the undocumented? I'm Greg Rugen, and welcome to What's Your Point, where our panelists call it like they see it. Let's greet them. Starting us off, Bill King, businessman, columnist, and fellow at Rice University's Baker Institute. Next up, longtime Fox 26 legal and political analyst, Chris Tritico. In the 30 spot, public safety advocate, April Aguirre. Batting cleanup, acclaimed Houston investigator, Wayne Dolcefino. And closing us out, career educator and crime victim advocate, Paul Castro. Let's begin.
President-elect Donald Trump taking to his social media platform, Truth Social, confirming that he will be preparing to declare a national emergency and plans to use military assets to reverse the Biden, quote, invasion through a mass deportation program.
The president-elect Donald Trump doubling down on his campaign pledge of a mass deportation effort, a program he's prepared to augment with the might of American military forces.
And just like many of you, there are some things that Donald Trump is doing that I do disagree with. There are some things when it comes to the things that Donald Trump is doing that I do disagree with. However, when it comes to the immigration, when it comes to this, I'm 100 with Donald Trump. And I'll jump down there to the chat with y'all. I'll read y'all comments. Just give me a minute. But this is one of the things that I agree with Trump when it comes to Trump. I don't agree with everything, but when it comes to the immigration, when it comes to this, I agree with Trump.
While some, including conservative Senator Rand Paul, contend use of soldiers, sailors, and Marines on a domestic basis for this purpose runs afoul of the Constitution, many others say the emergency declaration will give Mr. Trump sufficient and necessary leeway.
We're not talking about rolling troops and tanks, in the city streets and actually having them arrest individuals. We're talking about the United States military helping with transportation, i.e. aviation assets, as well as providing temporary shelters to be able to process those we've apprehended prior to them being removed.
Other hardliners simply say address the clear and present dangers with any and all means necessary. Wow.
The most important thing that President Trump needs to do immediately after he swears in is to create that deportation army to go after the Tenderawa and everyone who has a criminal record that it happens to be undocumented.
We got 78 in the building with only 4 likes. Y'all double tap that screen. Double tap that screen and get my likes up, y'all. We got 78 people in the building with only 4 likes. Make sure y'all double tap the screen and get them likes up.
Going after Venezuelan gangsters is one thing, but rounding up workers, for example, on construction sites or at poultry packing plants is certainly another. Chris Tritico.
Now, we're going to stop right there. Now, that might be a problem. All right? That might be a problem. I'm not going to say we all understand, because many of us still don't understand the part about getting rid of these criminal immigrants. But when it comes to the criminals in this country, they gotta go. And if you notice, they're the first on the list. Now, when it comes to the ones that, are hard workers, when it comes to those that have family, those the ones you say, well, you know what? We can talk about this. We could talk about this. Give me a minute, y'all. I got to put this water up in me. So, when it comes to the immigrants, It's always a situation where as though, you could say, well, you could compromise. You could be like, well, you know what? I understand, but when it comes to the criminals gotta go. It is what it is. The criminals, they gotta go. Let me get back because it looks like I'm doing all right, y'all. The less I talk, YouTube won't mess with me. Y'all see that, right? The less that I talk, YouTube won't shadow ban me and YouTube won't put them glitches in my demonstration. So let me do less talking, y'all.
Would the president be running afoul of the Constitution using the military?
I think so. And the Constitution is clear you cannot use the military for domestic law enforcement purposes. And so if they use them in a law enforcement capacity, it certainly is in violation of the Constitution. Now they're talking now about using them as logistics, I guess is a better way to put it. And that has happened in the past by both a Democratic president and a Republican president. And so we'll see. But
Let me backtrack, y'all. Let me backtrack. I heard him mention something that happened with a Democrat and a Republican president. Let me backtrack.
Domestic law enforcement purposes. And so if they use them in a law enforcement capacity, it certainly is in violation of the Constitution. Now they're talking now about using them as logistics, I guess is a better way to put it. And that has happened in the past by both a Democratic president and a Republican president. And so we'll see. But
So as you can see, Democrat and Republican presidents have done things similar. And this is the big issue with Democrats and Republicans. Why are Democrats and Republicans so divided when both Democrats and Republican presidents have done good for the country? Some Democrat and Republican presidents have done bad for the country. So why is the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, I can't even say too much of the parties. Why are those that are Democrats and Republicans, why are y'all so divided? Why do y'all stay going at each other's necks?
That has happened in the past by both a Democratic president and a Republican president. And so we'll see. But use of the military domestically is generally in violation of the Constitution.
Let's go to our other guy with a law degree. What do you think, Bill King?
I agree with Chris on that. I think that there are some ways you can use it. If they're actually going busting down doors, and that clearly is a violation of posse comitatus, I think that's what it's called. But look, I think Trump loves to speak in hyperbole, and I think that's what this is to a large degree. Because it's simply impossible. There's probably 12 or 13 million undocumented people here. It's impossible to go arrest that many people.
Let me just stop them right there, y'all. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And let me just say this also, and I'm gonna be brief. By you not liking Donald Trump, no matter what he does, no matter what ideas that he come up with, you're gonna shoot him down. If you don't like Shankrod, no matter what I say, you're going to find something to disagree with if you don't like me. If you don't like Shankrod, no matter what I do, you're going to find something that I do that you don't like. So it's like with Trump. If you don't like Trump, if you come into the board and you don't like Trump, you're going to find something. You're going to find something wrong with what Trump says. You're going to find something wrong with what Trump does.
But look, I think Trump loves to speak in hyperbole, and I think that's what this is to a large degree. Because it's simply impossible. There's probably 12 or 13 million undocumented people here. It's impossible to go arrest that many people and send them back someplace. So I think what you're going to see is kind of a show deportation for a few months. We had something like this very similar in the Eisenhower administration called, if you can believe it or not, Operation Wetback, where they deported tens of thousands or maybe a couple 100,000 people or something. There was a bunch of press around it, and then it went away. And I suspect this will be sort of the same thing.
April, again, you have said on this program you believe that the Trump administration is going to focus in on the lawbreakers, and that could take a couple of years. and then by that time, we'll have a better handle on this thing?
I think two things. Primarily that there's plenty of criminal migrants to focus on. I would advise them, if I could, to please leave contributing migrants alone and let them continue to be in this country.
Now, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I will say that part, okay. And that's what I was saying as far as the compromising and, maybe, dealing with it in a different perspective. However, when it comes to those that have criminal records, when it comes to those, they gotta go. No explanation. Sorry, but then again, not sorry. They gotta go.
A lot of these people are not necessarily focused or wanting a path to citizenship. They just want to be here and work.
But then even with that, can we go to those countries as Americans? If y'all notice, in those countries that those immigrants come from, Americans, when we go to their countries, if y'all notice, we are targets. Yes or no? So when they come to America, it's no target on their back. They come here, work, do their thing. But when we go to their countries, we are targets. We get robbed, we get killed. So know the difference. Know the difference before you start taking up for these immigrants. How would it be if we went to their countries? How would we get treated?
Migrants alone and let them continue to be in this country. A lot of these people are not necessarily focused or wanting a path to citizenship. They just want to be here and work, even if that is illegally. There's plenty of criminal migrants to go after.
And see, that's a problem. That's a problem. Illegal is illegal. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Now, and I got to get this in. Notice what she said. She said, even if they are illegal, if they're working, leave them alone. Can't do that. Can't do that. When we do illegal things as Americans, especially as black people, but not just black people, even as white people, when we do things illegal, we don't get a pass. We don't never get a pass. So why should they get a pass? Illegal is illegal. Yes or no? And this is the problem that we have. Why do some get a pass, but others don't get a pass? Especially for black people. White people, y'all slide through the cracks. But as far as black people, when we do something illegal, we don't get no pass. So no, these illegal immigrants should not get a pass. If they are illegal, no. And I stand 10 toes down on it. No more sugarcoating things. No more playing around. Let me get back, y'all, before, because y'all know as soon as I start talking, YouTube will mess with my numbers. So let me get back. Salute, Kiki. I will address the chat. Just give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute.
Right now, secondly, I think the real important thing on this topic is they're sending a message globally that the United States is taking immigration very seriously, and that the United States is no longer wide open.
All right, Paul Castro, is this a perfect opportunity for our Congress to say, hey, look, our biggest concern is not knowing who's here, and create some type of program where people come in, they're vetted, and we launch an effective guest worker program?
Yeah, I think there's a great opportunity here for Congress to assert itself as one of the three branches of government. I do think that this is going to be a test that Trump is putting into place to test his belief in the unitary executive. And if he does that, the question is, will the courts, probably not, or Congress, hopefully, check that?
And they probably won't. Once again, I see y'all in the chat. Just give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute to get to the chat, y'all. We got 300 watching with only 9 likes. Come on, y'all. Don't disrespect Shank Rock like that. The only thing that's required, well, not the only thing, but one of the requirements is 3 requirements. But one of the requirements to be over here is double tap that screen and get the likes up. I'm coming to the chat in a minute, y'all. I'm coming to the chat. Give me a minute.
when it's Republican, Republican, Republican. And the best way to do that is to pass legislation that outlines clearly what needs to happen and or grant the president the opportunity to exert the use of the military domestically. If that does not happen, then I think the question is, well, what happens next?
All right, Wayne, pile in here.
All right, I hate the word undocumented, first of all, because that's just bull, okay? They're not undocumented, they're illegal, okay? So that's my mean side, okay?
I like what he said. I don't like the word undocumented. He said they are illegal. See, I like that. Let's backtrack. He don't like the word undocumented. And y'all know what? I'm starting to not like the word undocumented. They are illegal immigrants.
Undocumented, they're illegal, okay? So
Let me backtrack. We got to stop sugarcoating things. We got to learn how to stop sugarcoating things and stand on what's right.
Use of the military domestically. If that does not happen, then I think the question is, well, what happens next?
All right, Wayne, pile in here.
all right, I hate the word undocumented, first of all, because that's just bull, okay? They're not undocumented, they're illegal, okay? So that's my mean side, okay? My nice side tells me, let's focus on the criminals first. We got plenty of time to worry about other stuff, but Trump likes to play a game where I think he thinks maybe if he says the most outrageous things, that a lot of people will go back voluntarily because they'll be afraid.
Well, even if that works, I mean, come on, listen, y'all. They just gonna have to drop my numbers because I gotta get this out. They just gonna have to drop my numbers, y'all. They gonna have to send the glitches in. I gotta get this out. We gotta stop. Like I said before, it's like when you compliment the man on one thing. There you go, 17, 17, 17. Make sure y'all put 17, 17, 17 in the chat. It's like you giving the man his flowers on one part of it, but then you turn right around and say, let me take those flowers away from him. Let me kick him in the dirt. Goodbye. Come on, man. Listen, y'all. Once again, I disagree with some things that Trump comes with. I've been screaming that to the top of my lungs. I think that there are plenty of people that will make a better president than Donald Trump. I've always said that. There are plenty of people that will make a better president than Donald Trump. However, he's not the bad person that people wants to make out. We cannot give him flowers for one thing, and then when the people turn their heads, we take those flowers back. Caramel says, we nominate you, Shank. Come on, nominate me for the next president. I can imagine, I could see y'all right now. Can y'all imagine me being the president? Lord have mercy on my soul. Because y'all know I'm going to cut a fool now. I'm going to be serious. I'm going to be like Trump. I'm going to keep it 100 if I was the president. I'm going to be like Trump. You know what I mean? I'm going to cut a fool. However, they sending in the glitches. I've been talking. That's their way of letting me know your black funky ass, Shank Rock, has been talking too much. Get back to the program. So let me let these glitches pass by, and then I'm gonna get back to the program. I told y'all when I start talking too much, they shut me down. The Full Life says, why y'all watching this demonstration? Yeah, double tap the screen, y'all. But y'all see, as soon as I start talking, especially when I start talking some real ish, oh man, they know how to get rid of Shank Rock. They drop my numbers. They sending them glitches. Let me get back to the program, y'all.
Side tells me, let's focus on the criminals first. We got plenty of time to worry about other stuff, but Trump likes to play a game where I think he thinks maybe if he says the most outrageous things, that a lot of people will go back voluntarily because they'll be afraid.
All right, Bill, the agricultural trade organizations, everybody's going to pile in here. What are the economic ramifications of of losing a good share of the current undocumented labor force.
Let me just say for a second, not everyone that's here that doesn't have authority is not here illegally. All the DACA kids came here as youngsters. There is no law that requires them to leave, so they are not here illegally. They've committed no crime in getting here or staying here.
So those are the ones that will get to stay. I mean, it's not hard to figure this out, people. Those are the ones that will get to stay.
And so not everybody that is here illegally. But look, if you deported 10 or 11 or 12 million people, it would be an economic disaster for the United States. You go to...
We already in an economic disaster. What are you talking about? Come on. Why is it only when Trump attempts to do things? Why is it only when Trump is in office, no matter, once again, the economy is already in a disaster. Trump ain't in office. But y'all don't want to talk about the economy being in a disaster already. Y'all don't want to talk about all the things that's a disaster already. Now, when Trump, he wants to come in and he wants to fix these things. Nah, probably wouldn't want to do that because that will cause an economic disaster. What are you talking about? We already in an economical disaster. Come on, people.
Any construction site, you go in the back of any kitchen of a restaurant here in this city and you see who's working. And, you know,
now they go, look, y'all, they just gonna have to shut me down. They let them shut me down. Why do you think? Why do you think? So y'all better get y'all comments in now while I'm reading comments and talking. Why do you think when you go to those restaurants, why do you think they got the immigrants working in there? Because black people ain't gonna work in there getting paid minimum wage. White people ain't gonna work in there getting paid minimum wage. And I bet you those immigrants that you see in them restaurants working, I bet 9 out of 10 of those immigrants are illegal immigrants. Y'all don't see the plantation. Come on now. Where are my history people? Where are my intelligent folks at? Y'all don't see the plantation. Y'all can't see it for what it is. Let's go back. Originally, people like to say, but Shank, the first slaves were white. Yeah, originally the first slaves might have been white, but what happened? Those funky white slaves got hip to the game and they said, we ain't baling this hay. We ain't baling this hay. We ain't picking this cotton no more. We done. Those funky white slaves got the hell off of them plantations. So what happened? They had to bring in a new group of slaves, the black funky ass slaves. Same demonstration. Y'all remember black people would take those minimum wage jobs. Don't act like y'all don't remember now. Y'all remember when minimum wage jobs, the majority of the minimum wage jobs were occupied by black Americans? Yes or no? Let's go back to the 70s. Let's go back to the 80s. Let's go back to a little of the 90s. It wasn't until hip hop blew up and hip hop created all this wealth. Hip hop created all this money for black people. Come on now. Do I got to give history class? So when hip hop blew up, when hip hop created all of this money for blacks, we didn't have to work those minimum wage jobs no more. So here come the illegal immigrants. So now, of course, the illegal immigrants are going to work those minimum wage jobs. Trust me. If they could be in their own country without the harsh conditions that many of them came out of, if they didn't have those harsh conditions in their own countries, I promise y'all, they would not be in this funky country working those minimum wage jobs. The only reason why they are in this country and working those minimum wage jobs is because the conditions that they have just came from. Facts. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I need y'all to come back down to reality. I need y'all to get y'all heads out of the clouds and get y'all asses up high. Because some of y'all are so far gone. Some of y'all are so far out of touch with reality. Y'all live in this fairy tale land. And we all know about fairy tales. Let me drop a jewel on y'all. And I hope y'all listening. Do y'all realize what these fairy tales that we grew up on? Do y'all realize what these pagan holidays? Do y'all realize what it psychologically, mentally done to us? I'll give y'all a demonstration, y'all. The Wizard of Oz. It's so many demonstrations in the Wizard of Oz. I'm going to just give y'all one. Who did they portray? Who did they portray in the Wizard of Oz as the villain? That the witch that was wearing the black, the wicked, who was she? The Wicked Witch of the West? Or what? Y'all know who I'm talking about. She was wearing black. See, here comes the racism, the black witch. Here comes the racism. Here comes the psychological programming. And I want y'all to listen to me. That witch, the Wicked Witch, wore black, representing black people. She was programmed, she was pushed out there to be the villain, right? Right? Now, the good witch, the white witch that was, beautiful and, you know what I mean? She was representing that white. But let's dissect the Wicked Witch, the black witch, and that white witch. Let's dissect it. The Wicked Witch, she wasn't the villain. It was the other witch that was the villain. Did y'all know, and go back and watch The Wizard of Oz, did y'all know that at the end, that the so-called good witch told Dorothy to do what? Clap your heels, clap the heels, right? And that will return you. And I can't remember everything about the goddamn movie, so don't y'all come with that, Shank, go back and watch the goddamn movie, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. But the good witch, she knew all along that all Dorothy had to do was clap her heels. Why didn't she tell Dorothy in the very beginning to clap her heels, and that would return her back to Kansas? But what she done was she let Dorothy do her dirty work, because remember, it was the shoes, I believe. It was the shoes that the Wicked Witch, the black witch, it was the shoes that she was wearing. She wanted those shoes. So once Dorothy, I believe she threw the water on her. I can't remember every goddamn thing about it now. Charge it to the game. However, y'all know what I'm talking about. That good witch, the so-called good witch, she could have been told Dorothy, clap your heels. However, she sent Dorothy on a dummy mission. She used Dorothy as a crash dummy. She used Dorothy to kill the Wicked Witch of the West. Man, oh man. Let me get back, y'all. My numbers are starting to drop. Let me get back. Double tap my screen, y'all. Double tap my screen. Listen, take y'all funky fingers and double tap my screen now. I'm tired of playing with y'all about the likes. Take your funky fingers and double tap the screen and hit the like button. Let my man finish off.
I have heard my friends say, well, if we got rid of those people, it would make room for Americans to take those jobs. There are no Americans to take those jobs.
What I just say? Because those jobs are paying minimum wage. What part of this you don't understand, you big dummy? White people can be so dumb. What part of this you don't understand? That's why there ain't nobody gonna take the jobs, because the jobs are being paid minimum wage. Man, you can't make this up.
Barely holding our own population growth right now, and for the most part, it's getting older. There's not this huge pool of unemployed young people in the United States.
I'm gonna stop right there, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Let me read some comments. And then we're gonna get out of here, y'all. I ain't wanna hold y'all that much longer. Jay Wynn says, Vivek Ramsway, and I approve this message. Appreciate that. Jonah says the witch was green. Young says the government created hip hop too. The Full Life says knowledge. Phoenix says, yo, Shank Rock Films, what do you think of Syria? I I think when it comes to Syria, I'm happy that they were able to liberate themselves, but you got to look at now that they, liberated themselves. What are they going to do in that country? You got to remember they've been under that rulership, they've been under that dictatorship for a long time. Now, what are the people going to do over there in Syria? So, but I appreciate that. What are the people in Syria going to do now? Come on, y'all. Give me some comments. Give me some comments. Kiki says the agenda that black is bad. Kiki says, I went my entire life scared of black cats. I feel bad for black cats. I'm still scared of those funky ass black cats. It could be a little ass black kitten. I'll go the other way because of how I was programmed. Y'all remember? A white cat, a brown cat, a gray cat, I don't have no problems with them. As soon as I see a black cat, I go the other way. And I'll be like, God damn it. But when it comes to the black and white game, we all should see it. And I do agree. I do agree. We do need to get past the color. I do agree with that. We need to get past black, white. I do agree with that. We do need to get past all of that. However, it's still a lot of things that has to be ironed out when it comes to race, like racism. We cannot get past it if racism still exists. Did y'all know that Russia, I know they're going to drop my numbers when I say this, Russia was one of those countries. Russia did not approve of slavery. Russia did not approve of slavery. The Soviet Union did not approve of slavery. If I'm lying, somebody correct me. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Russia didn't approve of slavery. Russia went against slavery. Soviet Union went against slavery. I think that's going to be the demonstration that I'm going to do later on today on my main channel. Why is Russia so hated by the United States of America? Y'all let me know. But yeah, there were other European nations. There were other European nations that disapproved slavery. That's why I always say all white people is not racist. All white people is not racist. You got some good white people out here, but don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. There are some white racists out here, but all white people ain't racist. They're not. Okay, Kiki says it works, Shank. Appreciate that, Kiki. Appreciate that. Frank says much love, but Russia had serfdom, a kind of slavery, till 1863 in a terrible class system after. Right. Kiki says instead of losing, you gain. Right. Talk to me, Frank J. Talk to me, Frank J. Because somebody just sent me some information on Russia, on the Soviet Union, disapproving of slavery. So Frank J, enlighten us some more, because I might be jumping the broom. Kiki says, Full Life says, you touching all bases, bro. Appreciate you, the Full Life. Double tap the screen, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm over here working hard. 33 likes. Double tap the screen. Take your funky fingers and double tap the screen. Hit the like button. I ain't going to hold y'all that much longer. We're going to get out of here. Come on, y'all. Where y'all comments at? I told y'all I was going to come to the chat, but I couldn't get to the chat because when y'all got to understand, I'm multitasking. So I'm playing the joint, I'm giving my commentary, and so I can't lose focus. Kiki says, take them booger hands. Yeah, take them booger hands. Appreciate that, Ruben. Appreciate that. And make sure y'all subscribe to my main channel. Main channel is Shank Rock. All right? I would love to hear y'all comments. I would love to hear y'all opinions. Kiki says, we need to know how that woman does it. Laughing out loud. Fear. Look, everybody, y'all been great. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to I'm the Boss Here. She's a content creator in the switching lane sector. Make sure y'all subscribe to I'm the Boss Here. Drop your link, Kiki. Drop your link, Kiki. And make sure y'all subscribe to I'm the Boss Here. Y'all are going to love her videos. I promise y'all. Ruben says, so it's not, yeah, I got 2 channels. This one of my channels. But I got another channel. The main channel is Shank Rock. So the Shank Rock Films is one of my channels. Salute 80s, baby. Salute 80s, baby. I got another channel, Shank Rock. That's my main channel. And then I got another channel with some other co-hosts, Tommy and Pee Wee. That's the Still Swinging podcast. I got some more channels, but my main channel is Shank Rock. Respond to my comment, please. I've left 2 of them. Shock Rock 1966. Is Kiki the only person leaving comments? No, she's not the only person leaving comments. Man, don't make me run you up out of here, Shock Rock 1966. I'm gonna cut you a break. But please, before you speak, please just relax a little bit. But no, Kiki is not the only one leaving comments. If this is your first time over here, for everybody this is their first time over here, relax. Just relax. All right? Just relax. Fill the room. Webble says, what are you trying to find out about Russia? Was Russia against slavery? Was Russia against slavery? Kiki says, it looks like it, though. Y'all engaged. Was Russia against slavery? David McConnell says, history lesson. Witches are depicted in black for the reason of the pilgrims all wore black back in Salem. The witches were wearing black and cloak and or capes. Wobble says no. Okay. Ruben says, what's your main channel about in general? It's the same thing. I cover, political issues, social issues, things that's going on in the world. So it's the same thing that goes on this channel. But this is my backup channel. The main channel, it covers the same things that I cover over here. Wobble says, Russia has slaves around the same time we did. All right, well, we're going to chop it up about Russia and Russia's involvement in slavery. Was Russia against it? We'll do that at 5 p.m. on the main channel. So make sure y'all subscribe. Let me get one of my moderators. Can y'all drop the main channel? Kiki or 80s Baby, can y'all drop that main channel or the Full Life? Can y'all drop the main channel link, Shank Rock, so I can get everybody to subscribe to that main channel? Frank says, stamp wobble. Also, Muslim genocide. Google Circassian genocide. Preston says, Moscow Times talks about modern slavery, and Russia had slavery around the same time. All right, well, that's going to be a good topic. So I need all of y'all to pull up. That's going to be a great demonstration. But remember, it's going to be on my main channel at 5 p.m. Eastern time. There's the main channel right there. I'm the Boss Here. Kiki dropped my main channel. Make sure y'all click on that link and subscribe to my main channel. All right. That's the main channel. Click on the link and subscribe to the main channel. About 2 more minutes, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm just going to give y'all enough time to subscribe to the main channel. Michael says, Russia abolished slavery in 1723 under Peter the Great. Let me write this down, y'all. Let me write this down. Link doesn't work. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. So Michael Richmond says Russia. Let me write this down, y'all. Put it in my notes. Russia abolished slavery in 1723 under Peter the Great. Ruben says not working. All right. David says, unfortunately, slavery has been around since the beginning of colonizing. The Egyptians were big on slavery. And that's true. That's true. Slavery has been around for a long time. So if the link is not working, just look, y'all gonna have to type in the search bar, Shank Rock, ShankRock, Shank Rock. Just type in the search bar, Shank Rock, and I'm gonna pop up. I'm gonna have on a suit with a bow tie and some shades. Kiki says, tomorrow is my anniversary. Congratulations, Kiki. I'm the boss here. Can I get everybody to wish Kiki, I'm the boss here, a happy anniversary? Tomorrow is her anniversary. Ruben says, no worries, just found it by typing it. Appreciate that, Ruben. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'll be 37 years. Woble says, nope, that's considered ancient slavery. There's still human trafficking all over Russia as well. All right, so we got a lot to chop it up about. All right, and remember, y'all, remember. Everybody has a right to voice their opinion. So when we doing the demonstration, please, if somebody says something that y'all don't believe, if somebody says something that is not true, please don't name call them. Please, that's another requirement over here. Y'all can agree to disagree. Y'all can disagree with each other, but I don't play the name calling. So, remember, y'all, this is a platform for us all to learn something new. It's a platform for all of us to learn something new. It's all perspectives here. Respect is important here. Marian Averigan says, yo, stop that. Let's not be political. Well, I mean, if your funky ass don't want me to run you up out of here, Mayan African Adventures Wild, your funky ass need to stop it. Don't you come in my chat telling me what I should stop. I'll run your funky African Swahili booty shaking ass up out of here so fast. Don't come in here with that BS. Great minds think alike even though we are different. Facts. Ruben says politics is a part of life. It's just a part of life. Politics is a part of life. Wobble says in 2021, the Global Slavery Index estimated that 1,899,000 people in Russia were forced into labor or marriage. Wow. Like I said, you learn something new every day. Even I learn something new every day. Look, y'all, salute. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Remember, at 5 p.m., that's 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5 p.m. Eastern time on the main channel. And if you couldn't find the main channel, I'll make sure I share the demonstration on my community wall on this channel. Salute everybody. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. And before I leave, let me read this last comment. David says, amen to that, brother. People who bash and name call are afraid of the truth. We do have our own opinions. We can agree to disagree, but have a very good and respectful debate. And that's facts, y'all. That's facts. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about us coming together, different backgrounds, different religions, different political views, different nationalities, different skin colors. It's all about us all coming together. All right. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. I'll see y'all on the main channel at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Salute.